Good morning. My apologies for being late. I was out in the garden doing some early morning work. I want to talk this morning about the Afghan refugees who came here to Australia. It is about a year since the first of them arrived, and the ones that we were engaged with arrived at Campbelltown. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office, and you're with Mission Alive. Some people from Afghanistan, if you remember that terrible scene at Kabul airport where people were scrambling to get out, particularly people who had worked with Australians and the other allies because they knew they would probably be shot when the Taliban found them. So they got out, and they got out often only with what they were wearing, and got on a plane, ended up, some of them, in Sydney, Campbelltown. At that time, my co-worker here, Sean Donovan, who works in the parish also out there, contacted them and started the ball rolling to help them in the parish. And one of the things at the start, they said, "Have you got any clothes? We're cold." They'd walked out of Rabaul with only what they stood up in. So that's a year down the track. So today, out of Campbelltown, they're going to have a gathering up of those people and some lunch, which I think is going to be Afghan lunch, because one of those Afghans has started a cafe or restaurant or something, Afghan restaurant. So there'll be a gathering up to recall those events, to meet with people again, perhaps to connect with new people and to see what the progress is. Now, some of the progress is that there's a lot of the kids are in school, and they're in either Catholic schools or public schools, or there is a Muslim school they can go to. Some of those people are in housing, been able to get housing. Some have got jobs. Some have even started their own business. Some were qualified in Afghanistan for business or for different things, and they're trying to get those qualifications either upgraded or recognised. The present situation in Afghanistan, of course, has not changed. But firstly, amongst them, there was a lot of young single girls, and they were really struggling in the community. A lot of prejudice and a lot of difficulty. So there's now an organisation, I think, begun by another young woman. I'm not sure she's Muslim or Afghan or what, but has started an organisation to support them, bring them together, help them to talk, help them to get assistance where they need it, community support. And this community support continues. As with the community support at the beginning, where it was decided a particularly Australian family would adopt an Afghan family as a sort of a buddy family relationship, and a lot of that continues, and people want to continue that support. The difficulty with a lot of these support for these sort of people is an initial interest and a big outpouring of support, then that often wanes, but there's usually a core of people who continue to be concerned. Back to Afghanistan, the situation, as we know from the news, often is getting worse. Prejudice against women is getting worse. That's their religious beliefs, but quite frankly, in the world today, that is not acceptable. That women are so biased against, women are so put down, so oppressed. To me, doesn't make any sense religiously, humanly, and certainly not economically, that you have half of your population that are not able to work and contribute to society. So that is not getting better, and education for girls is not getting better. So a lot of the religious freedoms and liberties are taken away, and if that is the case, people are repressed. They don't grow and develop as persons. They don't develop their talents and abilities. They don't grow personally and spiritually. So the situation remains. We can only do what we can to help those that are here. So I look forward today to meeting some of these people again. Not that I met many of them because of COVID lockdowns enough, I wasn't able to go out there and meet them. So it'd be a good opportunity to meet them today. Welcoming people like this, welcoming human beings in need, that is all part of our mission. That is part of the good news of Jesus Christ, to go out, and we proclaim that always in action, as many Australians actually do. Even many Australians who don't believe, don't go to church, they actually fulfill the preaching of the good news in their action. Have a great weekend and continue on mission.